Now, Nebraska has entered game week again, fresh off of the bye week as they enter play against Indiana this Saturday in Bloomington, and what is set up to be a pretty big game for both teams. Now, Nebraska, of course, entered the bye week off of the Rutgers win, in which was a hard fought physical battle. And a lot of question marks were there about Nebraska's offense, and rightfully so. There was a lack of being able to drive the ball, move the ball, especially in the second half. And I kind of went through drive by drive and just kind of looked to see if I can see anything below the surface that is causing some of these drives to be stalled out. Is there some play calling discrepancies? What's working, what's not? And there are some things I took away. Now, some of this stuff, of course, is timing and execution, but I think a lot of this comes down to sequencing and play sequencing. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that today, break that down. But first things first, if you're new here, please drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the comments. And as always, subscribe if you're new here and want to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest. So I do everything from all 22 film breakdowns to breaking news, etc. So y'all stay tuned. Now let's go ahead and look kind of at the drive summary, and I'm going to pull this up real quick for you here. So it'll give you kind of a visual of what each drive looked like right here. So this is just a little visual so you can see kind of the high level overview of what I'm talking about in terms of drive by drive. Let me zoom that out a little bit so y'all can see the full thing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive into. So there were 6 drives for each half. Of course, the last one for Nebraska being the one where they ran out the clock. Okay, so first half. First things first, the first half summary. Nebraska came out with 14 points. There were 5 of 10 on third down, 2 for 2 in the red zone. Okay. One of the things that I said would be important versus Rutgers is winning the battle on third down. Washington put up over 500 yards and were 2 for 12 on third down and scored, I think it was 18 points they ended up scoring. Now, Nebraska last week versus Purdue was 0 for 6 on third down in the first half and 0 for 1 in the red zone. Okay, so they had 0 points and 200 yards, right? So third down is very important here, but it's not just third down. It's the situations we put ourselves in on third down naturally. Third and short, way different than a third and medium, third and long, right? As we know. So going through that, there was 34 plays in the first half, 203 yards total, 94 rushing. 94 rushing and 109 passing. Okay. And I think Nebraska finished with 97 yards total rushing. So a lot to be desired in the second half. But let's go through the first few drives of the game. Now, the first one was a punt. And what I want to point out on the first drive of the game, we come out with an incomplete pass to Banks, run for a yard, 3rd and 8, run for 7, 4th down, go for it and get it, right? So come out establishing the run. Emmett runs for 3, short throw to Fedoni for 5 yards, 3rd and 3, Dowdle runs for 10. Now, this is where we have an issue. We throw a swing pass to Dowdell, loss of yards, okay? Swing pass to Dowdell. Screen pass is blown up on 3rd and 11. And then we give an inside handoff on 4th and 11. Okay, so the swing passes, the screen passes, the stuff laterally and the stuff at or behind the line of scrimmage really needs to be refined and worked on a lot more. The deep passing game is there. The running game is there at times, but there's just there needs to be more, especially to the middle of the field, to the intermediate level of the field, especially because the stuff behind the line of scrimmage right now is not working. That doesn't mean you go away from it, but you don't want to run 2 or 3 of those plays in a row, right? Now, let's go over to the first touchdown drive. So we have a run for a short game, 28-yard pass for a first down. Ramir Johnson pass to get him inside the 10. Now, that's the one where he rumbled down, and then Fedoni got the ball to the 1, that play that was reviewed, and Dowdle scored a touchdown. So right there, we had a run, a pretty good pass. Ramir Johnson rumbles inside the 10, and then Fedoni, that little swing pass to the 1, Dowdle TD. So good mixture of play calling, 7 plays, 75 yards, time of possession, 3:38, and a touchdown. Moving over to the next drive. Second quarter starting here. So we go with a jet sweep, loss. Again, something stretching the field to the outsides. Something's not working there. We get a loss on first down. Now we do a pass to the outside at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Penalty after that, and then an incomplete pass, and we punt. So we come out with 2 plays at the line of scrimmage, and that results in 3 plays, -5 yards, and a 51-second drive. Moving on, Nebraska gets the ball on a missed field goal, running play action off of another throw concept. So they run up the middle for 5 yards, outside run for 4. They convert on 3rd and 1. Again, another run. First down, 6-yard Ramir run. Ramir runs for 3 yards after that. There's a run outside. They convert on 3rd down. And then on the first down, it's a fake sweep. Again, sweep right coming across the line of scrimmage. It goes they fake the sweep to the outside, and Raiola gets sacked on that play. But the hard part is the sweep isn't working to begin with, so it's hard to set up a fake sweep pass outside whenever it's not really working. And then the next play is play action, and it's play action off of a fake sweep it would be nicer to kind of take those play actions off of the run game. But that was the one where Raiola got intercepted. It's one of those things where the linebacker kind of stepped up into the gap, maybe him thinking that he bit down on that run fake and kind of throws it over the top. But, again, got baited into that throw. That drives 8 plays, 27 yards, 4 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, the next drive, after the interception, this is another touchdown. So, and I'll try to keep this to where y'all can see it. Next drive after the interception was a touchdown. Dante Dowdle runs for 5 yards. Emmett runs for 4. And then Emmett runs for the first down. Next play, deep ball to Banks, 30 yards completion. Just hit him perfectly. Great timing there by Raiola. Dropped the ball in the bucket for him. Good play design. Ramir runs and gets 18 yards on a run. There's another run for 1 yard, and then the Bonner run for a touchdown. 7 plays, 72 yards, 2 minutes and 32 seconds, right? You see on these scoring drives, it's very much we're getting ahead of the sticks, keeping the ball ahead of the sticks, keeping at least it at a 3rd and manageable instead of, these 3rd and longs. And a lot of the Nebraska offense in terms of passing offense is long developing stuff way down the field. So nice, set of plays there to run that. But, you didn't see the sweeps. You didn't see the, throws to the outside, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get to the second half. And now this is important. First half, 5 of 10 on 3rd down. Second half, 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Okay. 63 passing yards and 3 rushing yards. And yeah, and 63 passing yards, that is including the Bushini pass as well. So first drive, get out, run for 12 yards, backed up from our own goal line. Okay. Emmett Johnson gets a gain of 1, inside handoff to Emmett, fake pass out to Vidoni. So they inside handoff, fake the pass outside. Emmett runs to the left, kind of stretch handoff, and 3rd and 10 after that, gets nowhere, throws to Lloyd for a gain of about 20. So Jalen Lloyd gets out on a route for about 20 yards. Inside handoff for 3 yards after that. Another inside handoff for 1 yard, 3rd and 6, ball thrown deep down the sideline. This is the back shoulder pass that was underthrown or tipped. I think it might have been tipped. That was the deep one down the left side. And that was 7 plays, 26 yards, 3 minutes and 59 seconds that ended in a punt. Though, again, just slightly overthrown back shoulder pass. But again, I think there's opportunities for Nebraska to be throwing, at the sticks. Stop, not trying to, always stretch the field on every single opportunity, especially when it's not, necessarily set up. 3rd and 6, they're somewhat expecting a pass there. Now, after the goal line stop, backed up again. That's another thing. That's another part of this is just backed up. Run up the middle. Play action pass to Fidoni was broken up. And these runs up the middle, if I don't, talk about how many yards they got, probably didn't do very well. Play action pass to Fidoni that was broken up, and a throw too far that led Nair a little too much. And that was the one, it's good that he put it out in front of him so he didn't put it in harm's way. But again, if he puts that on the money, that's probably a first down. It's probably a catch. So, there's another one there. 3 plays, 1 yard, 59 seconds. Next drive, quick pass to the flats. It is thrown behind Nair. Now, Emmett Johnson runs for 9 yards and gets the first down on the next play, runs again. Then he gets another carry for 2, and then we enter the fourth quarter. Deep shot. He overthrew Nair down the sideline. That was the defensive holding that should have been called that wasn't. So third down, Raiola rolls right and kind of throws it in between, kind of in the void of 2 wide receivers. Neither one of them, were in a position to make a play on it. And that's where the fake punt happens. 1st and 10. He was late seeing the route come open. So he held the ball a little too long, takes the sack. That was bad protection though. But swing pass over to Barney. That one goes nowhere. Again, swing passes, these jet sweeps that they're not working. Third down, the D line just blows past Justin Evans, and Raiola gets sacked. So 10 plays, 31 yards, 5 minutes, and 1 second of the punt. Okay, so third down, and when you're in these situations on third and long, when they're pinning their ears back, it makes it a lot harder to really kind of have time back there to throw these passes and let these plays develop that are long developing. So next drive, backed up again, run up the middle twice. That leads to 3rd and 6. The ball's thrown at Fidoni's feet. Again, backed up on that one. 2 runs, throw at Fidoni's feet. Execution issue there. 3 plays for 4 yards, 1 minute, 32 seconds, and a punt. Next drive, run up the middle. Play action. Raiola looks left, has Barney open and doesn't throw it. I think y'all saw that one on the broadcast as well. And then again gets sacked. A late developing play, takes another sack. 3 plays, -9 yards, 1 minute and 47 seconds, and the next drive ends the game. Now, what is my big takeaway there? I think a lot of you heard kind of what I was indicating to. The short and intermediate passing game has to get more creative. And it's interesting that I talked about Raiola's numbers kind of in that short intermediate passing game being, in terms of how he graded out in terms of, his PFF grade, it's not very good in those areas. Okay. So there's something in the short to intermediate passing game that needs to be refined. And these constant, long developing routes, it seems like we're always throwing to the sticks, right? And I get sometimes we want to throw beyond the sticks, throw to the sticks, but there's also an opportunity here to let our playmakers kind of, throw underneath if it's not there, throw underneath, let some of our playmakers make a couple moves, get up and get a first down. It doesn't have to all come through the air. You can shorten the average depth of target a little bit and give these guys some more targets across the middle and let them use their playmaking. It seems right now this offense is very all or nothing. And you see it here. The drives that were successful, you didn't see any swing passes, jet sweeps, none of that stuff. You saw one little kind of fake that was perfectly executed. It was like a little tunnel screen to Ramir, and it was executed to perfection, but that's not an outside perimeter. That's still coming kind of up the middle. So the outside passing game and the passing game in the intermediate to middle of the field needs to get a lot better, and it needs to just be utilized more. I don't think it's the fact that it's not being executed. I just don't think it's being utilized enough. And of course, Nebraska being backed up a lot in the second half and just kind of really not being able to establish that run game. But it didn't seem like they put as much of an effort into trying to establish it as they did in the first quarter. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about the Nebraska offense not having much of an identity, because if we come out running in that first half and we're having success, and then we have another touchdown drive where we're running it pretty well, why do you go away from that? Especially in the second half when you have a lead and you want to try to take some clock. Nebraska and Rutgers almost finished identical in terms of time of possession. So, and that was a 14-0 game at half where Nebraska could have kind of started really establishing that run and wearing them down. I think Nebraska needs to really start to do that and really start to invest in this run. It's a little bit of each play sequencing on each drive seems kind of random on occasion, right? It doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason behind it. We have really great drives where the plays are executed very well. And then we have drives that stall out left and right, like the ones we saw here. Again, third down has a lot to do with it, right? Nebraska was in a ton of 3rd and longs in the second half. In the first half, not so much. 5 of 10 converting in the first half. 2 of 9 in the second. Again, Washington had 500 yards, 2 of 12 on third down. Didn't score a bunch of points. Nebraska, last week against Purdue, 200 yards, over 6 on third down, didn't score a lot of points, didn't score any points. And then this one, 2 for 9 in the second half against Rutgers, didn't score any points. Okay, so third down is very, very important, but it's what leads us up to third down that is putting us in a good or bad position. So this is a team that really needs to stay ahead of the chains because this wasn't supposed to be a season where Raiola puts everything on his back. And he took some shots there. And it seemed like he might have been seeing a little ghost, but that's going to be good for him. I mean, those things are going to help him grow. But yeah, it's something you don't want to see at this point in the season. And it happens. You know, we saw the defense struggle against Illinois, but I said, what's the biggest thing? It's how they respond, right? How do they respond off of that week? Defense has been playing exceptional since, and they get better as the game goes along, it seems now. And the offense has a down week this week, right? And I know there's been execution issues throughout the season, but this was an offense that was near last in college football last year. And these are things that can be fixed if somebody recognizes it and is able to kind of add those elements to Nebraska's offense and really start to focus on, we just need to get north-south on these plays, right? Stop swinging it out wide. It's not working. Get north-south, establish your physicality, run the ball, try to wear them down. I think that's going to be very, very important against Indiana, is try to put some of your physicality on them. Now, a lot of people were upset about the clip of the Indiana game where I said in the live stream that Nebraska's are they physical enough for Nebraska? And a lot of Nebraska fans say I'm underestimating Indiana, and that's not the case. The thing about this is, if you are positive on a team, then you're being too positive. If you're negative on a team, and not even negative, Indiana, I love the Indiana team, right? They're fun, they're exciting. What's not to love about the story? But you can't question their physicality or their strength of schedule thus far without underestimating them. I find that hard to believe. So, but let me know in the comments what you think. I think this is an opportunity where if you critique a team and point out their flaws, that's things you're pointing out that your team can take advantage of, and that's what my job is in covering this. So, for the Indiana fans, hopefully y'all understand that in this one. And like I said, I like y'all's team. By no means am I saying Nebraska has this in the bag at all. Far from it. Indiana's a very good team. It's going to be a tough environment there, and I'm looking forward to it. But that'll do it for me here. If you like what I'm doing here, again, please drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.